Welcome to another exciting episode from Marvelous Videos. I'm your host, Tia Ayer. Silver Surfer Origin. The Silver Surfer is a character who has an extensively branched out storyline. He explores the universe, travels across time and several wormholes, and works alongside most of Marvel's superheroes. He also has an on and off again relationship with cosmic being Galactus. He was created by legendary Jack Kirby and made his comic debut in 1966 in the 48th issue of the Fantastic Four comics. Originally from planet Zenla, Norrin Radd dedicated his life to serving the planet destroyer Galactus to save his own planet. He was given a portion of Galactus's power, cosmic, and later his past memories were suppressed. As Silver Surfer, he went on to have an extremely unpredictable life, where he often aided Galactus in destroying planets, but also worked to fight the bad guys with the superheroes. Even though he seeks freedom, Silver Surfer finds himself sacrificing his liberty for the greater of the good, and despite a life that sounds like quite the torment, he has become a symbol of nobility. In this video, we will go over Silver Surfer's different origins in the comics and the animated series, his interactions with Galactus and Thanos, his time on Earth, and his involvements with the heroes and the villains we know and love. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Their struggle.
Origin of Silver Surfer from Silver Surfer, the animated series. Before becoming the Silver Surfer, he was Norrin Radd of planet Zenla. The planet boasted a technologically advanced humanoid race and a utopian lifestyle without any disease, crime, poverty, greed, or hunger. Norrin lives a content life with his lover, Shalabal, and under the tutelage of the Master of Zenla. However, he has always dreamt of leaving the planet and exploring the vast unknown of the cosmos, a place that is overlooked by the cosmic entity known as the Watcher. This entity observes everything that takes place in the cosmos, but he never interferes. Meanwhile, another entity called Galactus travels across the cosmos. He relies on the energy of the planets for his continued survival, and for that reason he finds planets with a bursting core and sentient life. He then sinks his tentacles deep into the core and drains the planet of its destruction to satiate his hunger. Once done, he searches for another planet and repeats the cycle. A Kree ship and a Skrull ship land on Zenla to learn together and stop the strife between their individual cultures. They are also introduced to Norrin by the Master when the Watcher appears in the sky with a warning. As an entity whose job is to never interfere in the events of the cosmos, the Watcher breaks his vow in order to alert Zenla of Galactus approaching their planet. Shalabal claims how she used to believe Galactus to be a myth, while Norrin hoped for it to be one. The Watcher explains how the Galactus is not evil or good. He is just a being dedicated to his continued survival, but he advises Zenla to change their own destiny instead of accepting their imminent doom. Soon, Galactus arrives and pulls his lever, which juts several tentacles into the ground of Zenla. To neutralize the situation, the Master begins the ceremony of outreaching. With Norrin and Shalabala's help, he causes the crystal to glow in order to reach Galactus. He tries to reason with the being by telling him that Lenla has brought peace and harmony to the civilizations of the universe for centuries. With the destruction of Zenla, the universe would be in trouble. However, Galactus continued with his destruction of the planet via his tentacles. In the dire situation, Norrin notices that the Skrull and the Kree, who had come to Zenla to find peace between themselves, were working side by side, with no other method working, and the energy of Zenla getting siphoned at an alarming rate. Norrin comes up with a highly risky plan. He procures a piece of crystal that they had previously used to contact Galactus. He uses it to contact Galactus once more and offers to help him in his search for more planets. Initially, Galactus mocks him for thinking as being as mighty as Galactus would need his help. However, he sighs and agrees to. Grown tired of the endless search, like a net serves a fisherman, Norrin chooses to serve Galactus and succeeds at convincing the cosmic being. Back at Zenla, he confesses to Shalabal that he will only lead Galactus to planets with a lot of energy and no sentient life. At the same time, he will also get to explore the stars like he always wanted to. The lovers bid each other goodbye, and Norrin promises to never forget her. Norrin is taken to Galactus' ship, where Galactus asks him to perform as his herald. However, to do so, he would require to be a lot more powerful than a regular man, and so he traps Norrin in an energy sphere and gives him a portion of his own powers, which is the power cosmic. Norrin is given the ability to absorb absorb the infinite strength of the cosmos. He will never feel the need to eat, drink, or breathe for his survival. He will also be able to transmute elements and use his cosmic energy to heal himself and others. With this, Norrin is turned to silver and into a being who will never experience the cold or heat. He is then given a silver board that is faster than the universe's fastest starship so that he can travel faster and serve Galactus to the best of his abilities. However, his memories of his past life are suppressed, and he is birthed anew as the Silver Surfer. As the Silver Surfer emerges, he pledges himself to serve Galactus. He has no recollection of his life as Norman Rad, and with it, does not remember that he had originally planned to lead Galactus to planets that lack sentient life. Silver Surfer surfs through the cosmos, guiding Galactus into new planets with energy. He seems to be very fulfilled with his life as a being who wanders across the vast cosmos all day. However, thoughts that he cannot explain plague him. He finds another planet with sentient life and a core bursting with energy. He guides Galactus to it while intercepting the fire from the planet's defenses. Ultimately, the planet falls to Galactus. However, someone notices these activities from their skull-shaped ship. It is Thanos. He acknowledges Galactus's power as the definition of destruction and wishes to control such power. Thanos witnesses the actions of the Silver Surfer and decides to make use of him to learn the secrets of Galactus, and as such, he has to tap into his brain. Silver Surfer is intercepted by a bright light from an explosion while flying through space. He blocks the light with his board, but soon finds himself flying through space again. He finds a planet nearby, a planet with a core full of energy, daylight, and fauna, but no sun. He finds it strange how this is possible when the energy of the planet causes him to get stuck in a fissure. The air from the lava underneath the fissure causes him to fall from his board. Without his board, the Silver Surfer finds himself at an overwhelming disadvantage as he tries to escape the dire situation. Meanwhile, Thanos notices how severely Silver Surfer's powers deplete without his board. The Surfer calls upon his board to escape the fissure and the lava, but soon finds himself being terrorized by lightning, waves, and a tornado that traps him in a void. And after being trapped in a void means that he cannot absorb the power from the cosmos. He feels like the entire planet is against him when a voice from nowhere tells him that his place is on this planet. However, Silver Surfer is adamant about serving Galactus. At the same time, Galactus ponders over where his herald was as he was done draining the energy of the previous planet that they had attacked. On the strange planet, Silver Surfer finds himself face to face with an icy mountain with the face of a man. He introduces itself as a living planet called Ego and offers the Silver Surfer to stay on that planet to acquire his desires. And once again, Silver Surfer reasserts his allegiance to Galactus. He attempts to fly away on his board when Thanos blasts him into the planet once more. Thanos corners Silver Surfer and fires a beam at his head to see his memories. However, he sees nothing more than images of the Surfer serving Galactus and flying across the universe. Thanos notes how he should have memories of his life, his failures, accomplishments, and his fears. The Silver Surfer himself is unaware of such a life. When Thanos notices a strange seal in the Surfer's mind, he fires at it and finally learns about Norrin Rad's life at Zenla. The Silver Surfer revisits his memories from the past and watches himself get transformed into the Silver Surfer from Norrin Rad. He even sees some of his memories with Shalabal and finds himself telling her that he will only guide Galactus to planets without sentient life. In fact, he sees everything from his previous life, but soon the seal heals itself once again. Thanos realizes that Silver Surfer is from Zenla, a place he had visited to study in the past but had failed at it. In fact, the light from Zenla that radiates out of Silver Surfer's memories causes the Titan to shrink in size, and he is teleported away. Meanwhile, Silver Surfer finds himself drifting across the stars, but the memories he had witnessed have disappeared once again. But this time, he is aware of Galactus having taken his life away from him. He finds Galactus, who is now approaching a new planet. He tries to talk to Galactus, who seems to be unbothered by the Silver Surfer as he has found a planet brimming with more life energy than any other. He then launches his tentacles upon the Earth. His tentacles begin to cause great havoc around the United States, while Silver Surfer gets into an argument with Galactus over his memories. Ultimately, he intercepts a blast from Galactus and finds himself stranded on Earth. With the tentacles siphoning energy out of the planet, the American Navy closes in on Silver Surfer Surfer as they believe him to be guilty of the destruction that is being caused. He heads closer to the ship to warn them about the consequences of the destruction and asks them to relocate to another planet. However, the technology used by the people catches his eyes and the seal on his past memories breaks once again. He is reminded of the time when Shalabal stood in front of these earthly ships and called it primitive. He is also reminded of Zenla being subjected to Galactus's tentacles, and names such as Norrin Rad, Master, and Shalabal race through his mind. He is sure they mean something to him, and at the same time, the members of America's defense attack him without Silver Surfer taking any damage. He evades the area while struggling with his memories when he bumps into two girls. With another one of Galactus's tentacles slamming into the ground, he saves the two girls and flies away with them on his board, all while being maddened by the memories of his past. With destruction all around and having remembered the fact that he is originally a good man that wanted to save the lives of many from Galactus, he fights back against the tentacles. Silver Surfer uses his powers from the Power Cosmic to dismember one of the tentacles as he keeps blasting at it. With his energy drained, he tries to garner power from the sun when Galactus brings him in front of himself. Strangely, Galactus is amused by Silver Surfer's actions and gives up on fading off of Earth, mainly because no one had the audacity or the rebellious spirit to oppose Galactus before Silver Surfer. He also considers the fact that his herald was simply mad. Silver Surfer uses his abilities to fire at Galactus, but that obviously yields no results. Galactus confesses that he would have never been able to serve him if he retained his past memories, but in the end, he is impressed by Silver Surfer, standing up to Galactus and being willing to sacrifice his life for what he believes is right as he wishes to save the planet. Galactus retracts his tentacles from Earth and frees the Silver Surfer. He also lets him keep his powers from the Power Cosmic. However, Galactus claims that this will be less of a blessing and more of a curse. Freed from the serving of the cosmic being, Silver Surfer sets off to find Zenla and reunite with his lover. However, Zenla seems to be missing from its place. Soon, Galactus's face appears and claims that Silver Surfer could leave him, but that did not mean he could go back home. Galactus is then replaced by the Watcher, and Silver Surfer begs him to tell him about the location of Zenla. However, the Watcher confesses that Galactus is so powerful that he has hidden Zenla in a place where even the Watcher cannot find it. Silver Surfer is devastated but vows to find his home and reunite with his lover.
Let it be done quickly.
Silver Surfer brings the wrath of Galactus to Earth in Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. In 2005, a live-action adaptation called The Fantastic Four was released. 2 years following the event, a sequel movie introduced Silver Surfer to the live-action franchise. 2007's Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer was directed by Tim Story. It revolves around the Fantastic Four allying with Silver Surfer to fight Dr. Doom and protect the Earth from Galactus. At the very beginning of the movie, the wedding preparation of Reed Richards and Sue Storm is interrupted by a silver object entering Earth's atmosphere. Its cosmic energy causes severe molecular fluctuations on the planet, with deep craters being created all over the planet by this being. The government approaches the genius science guy, Reed Richards, or Mr. Fantastic. He is tasked with creating a sensor that can track the movements of the silver beam that entered the atmosphere. His wedding with Sue obviously does not go smoothly as the silver object causes a power blackout. The sensors are destroyed and the Human Torch, that is Sue's brother Johnny, pursues the cause. As he learns about it being a humanoid called the Silver Surfer, he is taken out on the Earth's atmosphere, and without oxygen, the Human Torch's fire is snuffed out. He crash lands on Earth once again and regains his powers. However, when Sue touches his shoulders to comfort him, his power switches with that of Sue Storm's, and he becomes invisible. They touch again, and their powers are switched back. Reed Richards studies the phenomenon and learns that being exposed to the Silver Surfer caused his molecular structure to change, so now he could switch his powers with the other members of the Fantastic Four if they came into physical contact. Reed also studies the Silver Surfer and learns how the planets that he has visited before Earth had all been destroyed, courtesy his job as Galactus Herald, as we have already seen in his origin. As Silver Surfer creates craters around the world, Reed Richards anticipates that he will make the next crater in London, and so he does. The Fantastic Four head to London to prevent that, but fail to do so when Johnny comes into physical contact with Reed and they switch powers. Meanwhile, the Silver Surfer finds himself in Latveria, the home of Dr. Doom. His cosmic energy frees Victor Doom from his statuesque state, which had been frozen by the Fantastic Four 2 years ago. Doom tracks down the Silver Surfer and offers to ally with him. Silver Surfer agrees at first, but is soon crossed by Doom. The Silver Surfer retorts with a blast, but his cosmic energy heals Doom from his previous injuries instead. Soon, Doom approaches the American military and gets them to force the Fantastic Four into working with him. Victor is made to work alongside Reed, but he chooses to work on some unrelated machine instead of helping out. Unlike Victor, Reed focuses on the problem at hand and realizes that the board used by the Silver Surfer is the source of his power. This means that he would need to separate the entity from his board. To achieve this, he develops a pulse generator. During its setup, Silver Surfer appears in front of Sue and explains his situation as the Herald of Galactus, the being who destroys planets for his survival. But he also confesses how he does not wish to continue with this as it brings him great pain. However, he is soon separated from his board and arrested by the military. The military prohibits the Fantastic Four from interacting with him and instead tortures him for information. Doom uses the power of Silver Surfer's board to amp up his own creation from the time he was supposed to be helping Reed. He also gains control of the board. Meanwhile, Sue turns invisible and meets with Silver Surfer to learn more about him and the threat posed by Galactus. He is soon rescued by the Fantastic Four, who now has to deal with Dr. Doom, equipped with cosmic powers. In the ensuing fight, Sue is mortally impaled as she tries to save Silver Surfer from Doom, while the Fantastic Four experience great pressure in the battle. Without his board, Silver Surfer is also incapable of fighting back, and so Human Torch uses this new ability to absorb everyone's powers and goes against Doom. He is able to retrieve Silver Surfer's board again. However, this victory does not last long, as the two ill-fated events take place one after the other. Sue dies, and Galactus arrives on Earth. Silver Surfer controls his board once again and uses his cosmic powers to bring Sue back to life, completely healed. He also chooses to defend Earth from Galactus and flies towards his former master with some help from Johnny, aka Human Torch. He tells Galactus that he will not let him destroy any more planets and uses all of his powers to cause a massive explosion. Galactus is caught engulfed in a cosmic rift that destroys him. However, Silver Surfer dies in the process as well. At the very end of the movie, we see the Silver Surfer once again. He looks like he is dead, but that is until his board comes close to him, and suddenly he opens his eyes. Silver Surfer wields the Infinity Gauntlet. Not too long ago, the MCU released an animated series called What If? It revolves around several alternative situations and the events that could have followed. Avid fans of Marvel are already aware of the several stories of the What If comics that have previously branched out of their anthology series. And with that, Silver Surfer got his fair share of the spotlight with the comic What If? Silver Surfer possessed the Infinity Gauntlet? In the original Infinity War from the comics, Adam Warlock was a key player. He had tasked Silver Surfer with snatching the Infinity Gauntlet away from Thanos, but he had failed. However, in this cosmos, the Watcher can look into several other alternative realities. So let us take a trip to the reality where Silver Surfer succeeded. After taking away the gauntlet from Thanos, Adam Warlock asked Silver Surfer to hand him the gauntlet to safeguard it. However, the Surfer did not wish to give his newfound godly powers away. Thanos, who was present with Warlock, claimed how Silver Surfer was unworthy of becoming a god, unlike him. However, Silver Surfer intended to use it to right the wrongs caused by Thanos. He would first restore the heroes who lost their lives: Iron Man, Spider-Man, Cyclops, Wolverine, Scarlet Witch, Thor, Vision, and even Dr. Doom, among several others. He also repaired the destruction Thanos had caused on Earth and asked Warlock and Thanos to work as his adversaries. He claimed that he would eradicate diseases, illness, war, poverty, and hunger. Thanos, who was dedicated to balancing the cosmos, saw a huge flaw in the plan and realized how the universe would be overcrowded with peace. He also believed that death was necessary, but Silver Surfer also intended to change the meaning of death. It would not be feared anymore, but it would be seen as a higher plane to be cherished. Both Thanos and Adam Warlock resented the plan. Soon, Silver Surfer met with Mephisto to reform him away from his evil ways. When Mephisto resisted, Silver Surfer destroyed him with no remorse, all because he did not bow to him. However, Silver Surfer himself realized how ludicrous and vengeful his action was and ordered his so-called advisors to leave. Adam Warlock headed to meet with Doctor Strange. He claimed that this time Thanos was more of a friend than a foe, with Silver Surfer's psyche crumbling under the power of the Gauntlet. Not only did he have to separate him from it, but they also had to ensure that the Gauntlet did not fall into the hands of another unworthy being such as Doctor Doom. However, Doctor Strange knew of one person who could be of help, Shalabal. Suddenly, Adam Warlock and Thanos were summoned by Silver Surfer. The Surfer laid out his master plan to them, one where he would eradicate the randomness of the cosmos and make them fit under his order. Even Thanos was shocked to witness the Surfer turn into a bigger tyrant than the Titan had intended to become. Soon, Doctor Strange joined the picture with Shalabal. Silver Surfer was ecstatic to reunite with his lover, but she tried to reason with him regarding the godhood. However, he did not want to be separated from her again and gave her half of his powers. He intended for the two of them to rule over the cosmos together. Shalabal tried to reason with him again, but with the Silver Surfer being adamant about his stance, she attacked him. Infuriated by the betrayal, Silver Surfer attacked Shalabal and threatened to eliminate her. Just as he was about to do so, she told him that she loved him, which brought him to his senses, and he was devastated to realize how the powers had seduced him into giving up the one thing that he loved the most. He then used his powers to sacrifice himself. Of course, he left a destroyed gauntlet behind, and while the others thought that he had perished alongside his lover, the Watcher knew that he was now in a world where he would not have to be separated from Shalabal ever again. In the end, they found themselves on a deserted island which was quite like paradise, and this time, the Silver Surfer looked like Norrin Radd once again, as he had gone back to being immortal. Important arcs that revolve around the Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer has had an extremely prominent presence in the Marvel Universe, as a result of which he has been a part of several story arcs. His origin story is also more detailed here compared to the animated series, since we get to know more about his family. He was born on planet Zenla as Norrin Radd and was named after the man who had turned Zenla from a barbaric place to a utopian haven. His mother Elmar had committed suicide, and his father, Jartran, was overly ambitious about Norrin. Since his childhood, he was made to dedicate himself to seeking knowledge and achievements. Later, Jartran committed suicide as well. Norrin found love in Shalabal, but instead of settling down in his utopia, he craved challenges. Eventually, he became the Herald of Galactus. He served Galactus as the Silver Surfer for almost a century, and in the process got to live out his dreams of exploring the universe. However, finding planets rich in energy with no sentient life eventually got super difficult. As a result, he had to witness Galactus destroy a planet with life on it. The devastation drove him insane, prompting Galactus to suppress Silver Surfer's memories and emotions from the past. Following this, he led Galactus to several planets with life, such as Dravenbar, Mascaron, Eleanor 143, and of course, Earth. On Earth, Silver Surfer went against the Fantastic Four as an aid to his master. However, the blind sculptress Alicia Masters was able to tug on his heartstrings, triggering his dormant emotions as a good, empathetic human being. This caused Silver Surfer to turn on Galactus and bought enough time for the Fantastic Four and Uatu, the Watcher, to get the cosmic doomsday weapon called the Ultimate Nullifier. Ultimately, Galactus was forced to withdraw, but he punished Silver Surfer by imprisoning him on Earth. In fact, he created a barrier around the planet that would prevent only the Surfer from transcending its boundaries. Unable to explore the cosmos like he used to, Silver Surfer tried to adjust to his new life. He was later imprisoned by Doctor Doom, who had harnessed his board for its powers. However, having Silver Surfer's cosmic energy meant Doctor Doom was confined to Earth thanks to Galactus' special barrier. Life on Earth got increasingly hard for this cosmic being, who eventually began to believe that humans were savage. As a savage race, they could only unite when pitted against common foe, so he went on to become that common foe and terrorize the world. A missile created by Reed Richards was able to take him out, and he went back to his more peaceful ways. Later, he aided the Fantastic Four in fighting newer destruction attempts by Galactus and foes such as Loki, Mephisto, and Abomination, Warlock Prime, and several others. During these encounters, he was also reunited with his lover, Shalabal, from time to time, who was being used as a pawn against Silver Surfer. However, they were always made to separate, which made the Silver Surfer more and more frustrated. defeated, Psycho Man took advantage of his desperation and turned him hostile towards the Inhumans, S.H.I.E.L.D., Spider-Man, and his ally, the Human Torch. However, he soon corrected his errors to usurp Dr. Doom, who had acquired the powers of Galactus. He later allied with Namor and Submariner, and the Hulk after a weather technology threatened the existence of planet Earth. He also aided Thor against Loki's minion Durak and Demolisher, and the Fantastic Four against the Airwalker android. He became a part of the Defenders alongside Doctor Strange, Namor, and Hulk, but following a conflict between the Defenders and the Avengers, which was orchestrated by Dormammu and Loki. Silver Surfer left to go follow his own path once again. However, he helped the Defenders out on future occasions, such as the one against the Six-Fingered Hand and Mephisto. He even helped the Avengers fight the Molecule Man, but declined to be a part of the team. The Silver Surfer was able to leave the planet with the help of technology crafted by Reed Richards. He soon learnt that Lenla had been nearly destroyed, and Shalabal had been kidnapped to Earth by Mephisto. He went back to Earth despite knowing that Reed's escape technology could help him only once, and he rescued Shalabal. He then bestowed some of his powers to her, and she used them to revitalize Zenla. With a smart suggestion from the Fang, Silver Surfer was able to go beyond Galactus's barrier as he tried to pass without his surfboard, then rescued Galactus's present Herald Nova and made peace with his former master. His exile on Earth was then ended by Galactus, but with Shalabal running over Zenla, he could not rekindle their romance due to her busy schedule. He later got romantically involved with the Galactus's Herald Nova, which resulted in her questioning her allegiance to Galactus. Soon, Galactus found another Herald who was made to kill Nova. Of course, Silver Surfer got entangled with the likes of Thanos, who had wiped out half of the life of the universe with the Infinity Gauntlet. Silver Surfer then worked alongside Adam Warlock and several other heroes to undo the havoc caused by Thanos by taking away his Infinity Gauntlet. Not long after, Silver Surfer learned about his home planet being destroyed in the 1940s by an entity called the Other. So the Zenla that existed following his departure were recreations of the original planet, created by Galactus, who wanted Silver Surfer to have a home to return to. However, this knowledge caused him to lose his emotions once again, and he used the emotional blocking as a coping mechanism to deal with his grief. And he only regained them after facing the truth during a time travel adventure where he encountered the very entity who destroyed his planet. Later, found himself in Sakaar after going through a wormhole. The journey depleted his powers, and he was subsequently captured by the people of the planet to fight in the gladiatorial fights, a place you might remember from Thor Ragnarok. Fighting the Hulk caused the obedience disc installed within him to break, and he eventually broke the discs of all the slaves. He then went back to the cosmos, away from the savage planet of Sakaar. He became the Herald of Galactus again, and took part in the Galactus event, an event where they destroyed a massive portion of the Annihilation Wave, which was the Tyrant Annihilus interdimensional force. He later tried to feed Sakaar to Galactus. Galactus lost much of his power after the Chaos War, so while he recovered, Silver Surfer returned to Earth. However, he lost his powers during this time and went back to his original form. He later regained his powers from the High Evolutionary, who had stolen them and terraformed the moon. He went back to his heroic acts once again when a tear in the fabric of reality assessed another reality where death did not exist. In this Cancerverse, he fought the twisted version of the Avengers. Following this, he went to Asgard to find the Galactus seed from the World Tree, a seed that would satiate Galactus's hunger forever. However, Galactus was forced to withdraw by the gods. Silver Surfer left Galactus again and went on to have his own adventures around the cosmos. He later found himself on a planet called New Haven. It had 666 billion inhabitants, and they were the sole survivors from the worlds devoured by Galactus. One of the inhabitants, Dawn, went on to become his new lover. However, the planet was later destroyed. During one instance, Shalabal led a Zenlavian invasion on Earth, which was fended off by Silver Surfer. He also ended up going way back in time with Dawn, and they were stuck in time before the Big Bang with No Way Home. They explored the universe together and got married, and he later survived the death of the universe and emerged in the next one. He also took a new appearance under the name Norville and became a ghostly observer until he reached the original point in time. Naturally, he returned to Earth. He was summoned to witness the death of Thanos, but got trapped inside a black hole while trying to rescue people. He was transported billions of years in the past, where he fought Abyssal God and was turned into the Void Knight.
Can we talk?
What makes Silver Surfer so powerful? As a being that can absorb cosmic power and has no physical limitations, Silver Surfer is incredibly powerful and easily the most powerful herald Galactus had ever had. With the cosmic power, he manifests his other abilities, such as absorbing and manipulating energy in any way he wishes to. He can rearrange molecules, causing him to transmute and manipulate matter as well. His strength is unreal in base, and it can be increased in exponentially higher levels by using the power cosmic. He is also invulnerable and requires nothing for substance. His stamina is inexhaustible because of his cosmic body composition, and he can sense patterns of energy which allows him to see light years away. He can also see subatomic particles and has superhuman hearing. His board, of course, helps him execute his feat. However, in one storyline which revolves around a future Marvel universe, Silver Surfer became worthy to wield Thor's mighty hammer, Mjolnir. Written by Geoff Shaw and Donny Cates, the Thanos Win story brings Thanos in front of his future self, King Thanos. In this world, Silver Surfer is known as the Fallen One. He had been missing in action for a while as he was putting his efforts into becoming worthy enough to wield Mjolnir. Not like he wasn't powerful enough already, but with the hammer by his side, he was practically a god. However, he was later killed by King Thanos. Silver Surfer could be the intergalactic superhero that the MCU fans want. Since the release of MCU's Infinity War, there have been rumors about Silver Surfer becoming a part of the MCU. With Disney owning both 20th Century Fox and Marvel Cinematic Universe, it is definitely possible. Marvel fans initially wanted to see him in the Infinity War storyline, since he seems to play a significant role in it in the comics. However, that didn't happen, and so far, only the Fantastic Four franchise has glossed over a live-action Silver Surfer. But with the MCU expanding more and more with each movie, especially with the multiverse, Silver Surfer could very much become a part of the verse. However, due to the super dynamic nature of this storyline, the live-action version of the character might have a more watered-down storyline. Where else has Silver Surfer appeared? Silver Surfer's first non-comic appearance was not the 90s cartoon, but the 1967 Hanna-Barbera cartoon series called Fantastic Four. He appeared in the episode called Galactus. He also appeared in the 1994 Fantastic Four series in the episodes The Coming of Galactus Part 1 and 2. 2009 Superheroe Squad Show witnessed Silver Surfer as a regular character throughout Season 1. As a prominent character in the comics since the 1960s, and as a character who is not bound by any earthly ties or physical limitations, Silver Surfer has enjoyed his fair share of adventures throughout the stories. Well, he might not have enjoyed all of them, because who wants to get stuck billions of years in the past? And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one, and be safe. Thanks, everyone.